Hello, I'm James Lipton, and welcome to my new show, Inside the Animal Studio. Today I will be speaking with the octopus who lives in my brain, or as he is better known, the common octopus. Octopus, it's great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here, James. Thank you for having me on.
Now, Octopus, the public knows very little of your private life. For instance, do you have any siblings?
Why, yes, I did, when I was first born. My mother laid around 500,000 eggs, most of which quickly hatched into microscopic larvae. Unfortunately, though, as I belong to an R-selected species, with a very low survivorship rate, during my early life, less than 1% of my siblings made it even past 10 millimeters in length. Octopi are known for our live fast and die young lifestyles.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Your mother must have been very distraught.
My mother was very caring while we were still eggs. She used to spray water over us to keep us clean. She would even forgo foraging for food for months while she waited for us to hatch. Alas, like all female octopodes, she died shortly after we were born.
Oh, I'm sorry for touching upon what must be a very hard subject for you.
Oh no, don't worry. It is the sacrifice all octopi make for the continuing of our species, and it's when most males and females that make it to maturity will die.
That's very noble. Speaking of mortality, I understand there are a number of threats to the octopus community at large.
Yes, there are. As well as human dangers, such as ocean floor trawling and overfishing in general, there are a number of natural predators to the common octopus.
Such as?
Well, there are sharks, dolphins, and eels, just to name a few. But we octopodes have a few tricks up our sleeves to prevent this predation. I am a keen hider, able to squeeze into small places, as well as change the color of my skin to match my surroundings. It can be very difficult to see an octopus. We can also detach arms if a predator grabs them.
You are being too modest. Please tell our viewers of how you can spray ink onto predators and your powerful beak with venomous saliva.
Well, I believe you just said it all, James.
Now, on the topic of survivorship and predation, just how dense are octopus populations?
That's a tricky question, as it fluctuates greatly based on area in the world as well as time of year. But to give an example, the average population density year-round in the eastern Mediterranean is about 1 adult octopus per square kilometer.
That seems low. What factors limit the populations of the common octopus?
For one, octopuses prefer to remain solitary. There are a variety of factors that limit the population growth of octopi. Some density-dependent factors, including aggression between same-gendered octopi and food scarcity. Some density-independent factors, such as high predation on octopi, as well as the high price fisheries can get from hunting us.
Well, I can promise you I'll never eat an octopus.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Now, as I'm sure many of our fans are thinking, you are looking very youthful. Just how old are you?
I'm 2 years old. This is actually rather old for my species, as we reach maturity at 6 to 8 months. We only live to be 3 to 5 years old.
Well, how do you stay looking so young? Is it your diet?
You flatter me. No, I eat what any common octopus eats, a variety of crabs, crayfish, and mollusks.
I know the cephalopod field can be a tough one to work in. What kind of competition do you experience?
I compete with eels and predatory fish for my prey. I also compete within my own species for hiding places and homes, and, of course, mates.
You mentioned homes just a moment ago. What is your habitat like?
Well, you can find me in tropical waters around the world. I live on the floor of shallow, rocky coastal waters mostly. I like to fit myself into small spaces, and sometimes I will surround myself in shells and other small objects.
Now, every one of our interviews ends with the Pivot questionnaire I borrowed 19 years ago from Bernard Pivot, he is the talk show host I emulate, but will never equal. Now, what is your favorite word?
Slippery.
What is your least favorite word?
Eel.
What turns you on, creatively, spiritually, and emotionally?
Mollusks.
What turns you off?
Negativity.
What is your favorite curse word?
Protestant.
What is your favorite noise? What is your least favorite noise?
Whale songs. They yell all night.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
A writer. To spread my ink on paper instead of predators.
What profession would you least like to be a part of?
Fisherman.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You were wrong, octopus. I'm real. But you can come in anyway.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for coming by, the octopus that lives in my brain.
It was a pleasure. I'd love to come on again.